Hello everybody, this is toysareruss, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Cang toys. This is one of their mini Predacons. This is Thormini. So with this video I'm going to unbox him in a second. We're going to have a look at the entire contents of the packaging, and of course we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes. But with this video I definitely need to start with showing you the very premium looking and indeed feeling packaging. It is of course reflecting everywhere. I'm trying to get the glare away from the camera, but it's a beautiful box. And just I suppose bring you up to a bit of speed about what these figures are. This is a legend scale third-party company take on Predaking. Now, although this is a gorilla and it isn't one of the characters that was originally in Predaking, this is basically just a mini version of Thunder King, which Cang Toys made a couple of years back, and they included this extra member as part of the team. So we can see he looks obviously like a gorilla, and he's got a robot mode as well. So the CY is the Cang Toys and the Mini is the 05 is his reference number. You can order these and all of the other members of the team from Shozy using my code toysareruss, which is of course where you can get this from, and I'm going to leave a code, sorry, I'm going to leave the link in the description. There's the sealed instructions, lovely. And again, I want to just show you the premium feel that you get from this sort of product. It's ever so well packaged, it's all lovely, kept nice and safe. There's the actual figure. Let me take him out of there. Let me just stand him up. I'm trying to do this whilst reaching around on the camera. I'm going to show you in quite a bit more detail in a second. Let's just take out his accessories. And as I say, this guy is part of a team that combines to make Cang Toys' version of Predaking. So there's no point doing a comparison with the G1 because there wasn't one of them members. Now he's just about balancing like that, long enough so we can do some first impressions. And again, I hope that with the reflection and everything that's going on with this camera, this is going to do him some justice, because look at the paint apps on this. The gold is reflecting everywhere. The metallic red is doing exactly the same. Oh, there we go. I needed to pull the legs out. It's on the chest, it's on the side. The head sculpt, look at the paint apps, beautiful. There's light piping even there by the looks of this. Is that light piping in the back of his head? Yep, there's light piping there in the back of the eyes, which is nice. The head itself is fully articulate. It goes up and down all the way around. Nice. These shoulders, this is my first time handling this product and it's lovely. There's a shoulder skirt there, which means, yeah, there's a huge part actually. So it's on a ball and socket. It's slightly hindered by the shoulder cover, but you can see underneath there's going to be more than enough range of motion. There is a swivel underneath that. There's a bicep flexion. There's a wrist swivel as well. There's a waist rotation. There's skirts on the front of these by the look, so you can kick it all the way up full 90 degrees, sorry, full 180 degrees from front to the back with a knee bend. These are just stiff. I just seem to find these products to be really sort of quite stiff, the joints with them. Sometimes it can be a little bit scary when you're maneuvering parts around. There is of course an ankle tilt and rock as well, full range of articulation. The accessory that comes with him is amazing. Rotating saw blade with all the spikes, again metallic red looking paint apps on it, and then a normal blaster as well with reflective gold, silver and a lovely gunmetal grey. Right, that's the first impressions. I'm sure you'll agree. In fact, we perhaps need to have a little bit more of a look at him. The chest detail, the moulding there, just want to do this guy some justice. The detail there on the side of his legs. Again, I can't stress to you enough how good the paint apps look. I suppose we can make out there we've got some gorilla hands, but with regards to everything else, it's pretty much really well tucked away. I'm sure you'll agree. So without further ado, let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. That's for two reasons. One, to keep the main length of this video down, and the second is because I'm going to be uploading a tutorial soon as well. Now, once again, the paint apps on this are really prominent, making him look really good, which is the positive thing. I suppose the negative thing is really, even though obviously he's a gorilla, he doesn't have that much articulation, or he does, but it's hindered by everything, and it just means moving and maneuvering everything about. So obviously the shoulder joints for the arms are here, but the range of motion is restricted unless you lift up and all of the shoulder thing out the way. If you move this out the way, same as with robot mode, you've got full range of motion with this completely, but obviously it's covered over covering basically most of the arm for that particular reason when he's like this, which is a bit of a shame. You've obviously got the elbow flexion there as well, so you can bend that in. And if you have a look, the fingers, there's thumb articulation, and then the rest of the hand as well, you can move them so they're nice and articulate. There you go. And nice and detailed. So there's a lot there. The waist swivel is still just about, but again, not too bad, which you don't really want it to be when he's in his alternate mode. It's just the legs, so you can see how they fit. If I've got this completely wrong though, guys, please tell me in the comments, but I've checked everybody else's pictures online and it looks like it's that way. I mean, you can move at the knees, but then of course all this comes off. It's just, I don't know, I'm probably being overly picky, but it does, I mean, it looks amazing, it really does. You can then take one of his weapons, which is the blaster, and you've got a cutout there, and there is a little gold notch there, which means you can pop this on the back of his head and give him, I suppose you can stand him up, but as soon as you do, see that huge gap appear there, and then of course he's just no real different to being just in robot mode, to be honest. Just all that, when if you stand him up like that, he's just in robot mode with his feet turned around, and indeed obviously with his hands turned around. But it's not too bad. It actually looks all right there, to be fair. There is the different head sculpt, which again looks brilliant, really, really nice. With that on the back, it looks good. It just looks like a standing up gorilla now, which of course I don't think they're going for. And let's be honest, if they are going for the there we go, bending him down, it's all right, isn't it? It's a bit weird, to be honest. I think it's a bit weird purely because, like I've said, they just added this in, and I didn't say in the front part of the video, the first part rather, he's basically just going to be the crotch to the main Thunder King. So I suppose any figure we've got which can do this is a bit of a bonus. You've got this enormous other weapon which we saw in the first part. You can't really attach this here, however though, because he's got his open hands, you could, if you wanted to, you could put it in his hands like so, and he could wield it around, but again he'd have to be standing up like so, and that just leaves them huge gaps there. So this particular mode, it isn't too bad, and then you probably have to put these down to counterbalancing, which no, it doesn't even anyway. So it's not too bad. It's okay if he's completely hunched over like so, but otherwise it's a shame because the articulation's there. It's just hindered by everything else that's going on. But obviously I wanted to show you this. The articulation on the head's brilliant. I mean, you can look all the way up from that position. You can spin around as well. Yep, it can, no problem with that. And as you say, the feet as well, because of course it's just the robot feet spun around. There's a full ankle tilt and rock, and you can move the toes up and down as well. So it's articulate, but you just can't really move them or use them, which is of course the shame. But I think that's all there is to say about this mode. We're going to come back final time with him in his robot mode and pop some accessories on him and see how he looks with them. Right then guys, back for the final time with him in his robot mode, which is the definite best mode of him so far, of course, until we get the rest. Then we're going to combine him up. So I am going to show the crotch part, which is what he does transform into when I do the fully combining video. But let's have a look how he looks with his accessories. But again, the accessories are great, and indeed you can start to combine these up with the weapons from the other ones, but again I'm going to be saving that as well. Now every time I put the weapons in his hands, I've got to confess, I always worry that because how thin they look, that they're going to break off. Now fortunately enough, I've never had that, and to be honest, I've never read that either. So perhaps it's just me being a little bit too cautious, or perhaps because I don't really get much luck, to be honest. But there he is with his accessories, and you know, you can completely armor him up. I hope, I keep saying it through, but I really do hope that you can tell that these are a beautiful reflective colours. So that even the red's like a metallic reflective red. The golds and silvers you can hopefully see all popping. I'm going to keep the gun in his hand, to be honest. One thing I just need to do very quickly is, of course, to give you an idea of his size. So if you collect other legend scale figures, so we've got a New Age take on Optimus Prime. He's known as David. That is a Magic Square Trailbreaker, and that is an Iron Factories Mirage. So you can see he's quite only just a little bit bigger than them. So of all the sort of third-party legends, not all, some of the third-party legends I've got, you can see he's one of the biggest. If this means absolutely nothing to you guys, which is fair enough, let me show you some other figures that might give you an idea. So there is core class Hasbro. There's Micromaster Hasbro. We've got deluxe class Hasbro coming in. And again, there's a couple of different sizes of deluxes, to be fair. They all seem to be different, but he just seems to be, I'd say, yeah, just a little bit smaller than your mainline deluxe figures. If this makes no sense to you and you collect G1 like me, he's a bit smaller than that as well. But hopefully I did him some justice, because these guys, they're something special, to be honest. They just look great. And yes, they are much more expensive than these. They command a higher price, but it really does boil down to that old saying, you get what you pay for. And with this guy, he is beautiful, and I'm sure the combined mode is going to be just as good. Hope this review helped you with your decision if you wanted to get them as well. Don't forget, they are available on Showzy right now, and you can use my code toysareruss if you'd like to as well. So there we go, guys. That is Cang Mini Thormini. Thanks for watching. Take care.